Hey everybody, what's up? This is Retrokid Reviews, and call it fate, call it karma for a certain 2016 movie. I am finally getting around to do Ghostbusters Afterlife. This is a non-spoiler review mainly because I got a lot of Toku news I gotta talk about real quick. Also, if you want the full spoilers of how awesome this movie is and should have been out a good 4 years ago, personally speaking, go to Kind of Funny's every Ghostbusters interview. Yeah, no shit, Greg was gonna do a full in review for the entire Ghostbusters franchise. But if you want to see him squirm, yes, he did also do a review of Answer the Call, aka the 2016 movie we do not speak of anymore. Yes, long story short, I want to take a wild guess and say a certain fandom menace is gonna lose their minds on it being good and not process that Afterlife is good, so they'll say woke somehow. Fuck you, Gary. So, hopefully I'm long enough in the review to finally say some swear words, or I guess now with the dislike button be disabled, do we even care anymore? YouTube these days. Yeah, the movie is awesome. I really enjoyed that the entire Reitman family were involved with this. Dan obviously was involved with obviously writing, and I assume executive producing. And like any new and old Ghostbusters fan, or people like me in between who had cousins in the 80s that love this thing to death, would tell you that Bill Murray was the one that was the hardest to get this movie made. And that's before we get to the most obvious spoilers that I even had to make a figure news review of. So more on that in the plot in a minute. Like I said, this is not spoiler because I actually would like you to watch it yourself in theaters. I know that's a lot to ask given the pandemic and everything, but this movie is actually really good. Starting off at the top, it's not in New York like everyone saw on the trailers. It's definitely in Oklahoma, small town kind of thing. Um, has a lot of references to the old movies, like everyone's been telling you, and I guess my touchstones to both of these franchises, new and old, Ghostbusters wise, was mainly the movies, mainly Extreme Ghostbusters as a '90s kid. So sorry for the spittle there. Not doing bad, I hope. Anyway, that all being said, this is still really good. The breakout star, which I thought would be, not Finn Balor, that'd be weird. Wolfhard just securing the bag once again for a franchise after, Stranger Things. Turns out it's Mika Grace, coming in as Phoebe, the granddaughter of, Egon, and yeah, she does a really good job. This was definitely more her movie, her family's movie, than Egon himself, who was famously played by Harold Ramis, who is no longer with us as of 2014 due to weird health conditions that I can't really explain. You're gonna have to Google search it yourself for the time of this review. Also, if it sounds like I'm speed running this review, is mainly because two things. Like I said, I gotta do this review and my Cowboy Bebop 2021 review for the Netflix show, season 1 wise. Yes, they are planning to do a season 2. I think we'll talk about that when we get to that. Also, for the Toku stuff, yeah, I'll get this real quick. The Black Sun, Kamen Rider, 2022, I think movie just got its first official image of Kamen Rider Blacks. I guess Shin redesign, however you want to see it as. It looks really good, and yeah, I'm gonna have to make yet another dedicated Toku video. Great news for my Toku fans. Bad news is going to be talking about how Toei was secretly sexist all along. Yeah, that's a long can of worms that I may have to do something I never thought it would do. Card to Toy Bounty Hunters. I have hands off his channel for a while, mainly because he was getting a little hot topic-y for most of the fandoms he was touching on. So again, there's probably going to be better channels and better Toku channels that'll explain the situation better before I show up getting a full context for it. So, that being said, back to the movie. It's really good. Again, non-spoilers wise, if you were thinking Paul Rudd was going to be a full Venkman, kinda, until a certain point. Another breakout star I hope gets good is Logan Kim's podcast. That's literally the kid's name. He went around trying to make a true crime podcast of his entire hometown, which is kind of cute. It was really cool. It looks like he had a lot of fun with the goggles that he thinks is like VR or something. Easy jokes there. For the PG-13 rating, for this franchise, it's about as scary as you kind of thought it would be, but it's also very kid-friendly for people who are just coming into like middle school and stuff. So it's like a good like balance between both generations of fans, new and old, like I said. Ultimately, if you want a full, I guess, sort of deeper analysis, non-spoilers-wise, I highly recommend, since we're talking Ghostbusters here, aside from Greg Miller, Chris Stuckman did a quick review of it before it came out this weekend. I am also filming this Sunday of its first weekend, so I don't know the full box office numbers. I'm going to take a wild guess and say it'll hover around maybe 20 to 27 million like Internals did. It'll probably need more worldwide box office acclaim, which means there's going to be more countries that need to get a better handle of COVID. Not just my country here in America. That is my home country, long story short. Ultimately, do you need to see this as karma for 2016 like most fans are probably going to do? Yes, but also keep in mind that you are also want to you wouldn't want us exposing ourselves. Long story short, I'm going to be quoting the two movies. If anyone wants me to do retro reviews for both movies, no, mainly because it's my childhood and my teenhood with my cousins, so I will say here as many reviews. The first movie is amazing, you have every right to watch it. It's one of those movies you have to see before you die kind of stuff. There is one or two jokes that kind of are behind the times, a little. Keep in mind, like, one or two at best. 89's Ghostbusters 2. I personally grew up with more, if you could believe that, and I do defend that more to this day because, yeah, Doug Walker really, really wanted to shove more Chicago love into that kind of writing. I don't know. Go to his old reviews for that. I rarely talk about former Channel Awesome stuff these days because I still think Mike Brishaw's an asshole, and I still think he should totally, change the channel. That all being said, the actual final scores for this review is a full-on, I can't believe I'm saying this, 9 out of 10. There is one or two things they're totally missing, and it's not really their fault. Certain cast members going to come mainly because he was retired at the time and came back. If you know who I'm talking about, IMDb down below for the cast of the original movie and this movie. And yeah, ultimately, should you see this as like a new entry to the franchise? If you stick around for like the mid and post credits, kinda, yeah, definitely, they really want to try to make a new franchise out of this, and I hope they do personally. There's also a surprise cameo cast that I didn't think they would actually do. That also is tied to Ghostbusters lore, which is really good. Like I said, this is very tied to the original movie in the best ways, not in like overly shoving the nostalgia ways. So that's pretty much good. And speaking as a retro kid of Retrokid Reviews, this is a really good movie. I hope it makes a lot of money to, obviously be karma for 2016, but also, I guess, set a new precedent for the franchise going forward. If anything, like even the 2016 movie, everyone had their detractors, myself included. I will also say, if you really do believe those characters are better characters, the IDW comics years later definitely did better for those characters than what you're doing here for Afterlife. Again, speaking as also an extreme Ghostbusters fan, I really would love to see an IDW crossover comic with Afterlife's new Ghostbusters crew. That'd be pretty cool. Also, last up before we get to the cars, I almost convinced my cousin Steve into building a Nerf proton pack from Anna Dart. So card there for the build guide if you guys have the money for it. Believe me, it's worth it. The FPS is fine. And speaking of any mob potential or real Nerf Ghostbusters here in my channel, sadly no. Like I said, this is a very old, now 35-year-old 80s franchise, which means collecting and making that kind of loadout is a lot more pricey than Toku stuff, if you can even believe that. So with that all being said, what did you think of this non-spoiler review? My apologies that I didn't want to go through the whole plot and stuff. Again, you have to see it for yourself. It's really a good level over to new and old fans. Almost said the F-bomb last minute, my bad. And in case anyone was asking, yes, the guys from the original movies did come back and probably did their cameos a lot better than they did in the 2016 movie, but that's like saying a lot. So me being sporadic in a good way than usual. I haven't had a positive sporadic spoilers in a while for this channel. End cards coming up to my previous content here, which is I think my Internals review, or I think getting more new stuff out of the way. Shorts playlist here, because I might be doing some not full spoiler stuff in case you guys want to watch it. Let me know in the comments down below. And speaking of people who probably tell me, oh, you're just shilling it because it's like over, like, it's all woke and stuff. Screw the fandom and they're crappy bunch of YouTubers. Don't follow them. Long story short, they bad. So that all being said, hit notification bell down below for many more future content for reviews that will be coming out the rest of this month, because I gotta do Cowboy Bebop and that new Resident Evil movie. Yay! Yeah, the fun never ends here on the channel. So with that all being said, take care, subscribe. They're scientists. I want to let you know, the new kids, they're totally scientists. Even though they're in summer school, they're totally scientists, scientifically speaking. Anyway, to the Harold Ramis family, before I close out, thank you. I'm pretty sure he would have loved this movie just as much as you guys had making it. yes, it was that good, and it was a really good tribute to Harold Ramis. So, yeah, take care, subscribe, and Ghostbusters, man.